This is on Jefferson Avenue in West Birmingham, connected possibly to the search of 3-year-old Kamille Cupcake Mckinney and the abduction that happened on Saturday night. We heard word that police are checking out a tip at this location, and a lot of officers there on the scene, a helicopter there too.
Yeah, if you take a closer look, if we can zoom in, actually showing the helicopter, we believe this is either perhaps an Aaliyah helicopter or Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. They also have a helicopter for situations just like this. We also notice if we zoom in there on the gentleman to the left that's not wearing a uniform, that is Dominic McKinney. That would be Kamille's father that we've interviewed about her disappearance. That's a Sheriff's Office helicopter that is flying over the scene as well. But we interviewed him over the weekend Sunday. McKinney herself disappeared. It was around 8:30 at a birthday party in the Tom Brown community. It was about 8:30 on Saturday night. She disappeared, night, yeah. And the word on the street was, and through authorities, that she was actually lured to a vehicle by somebody, a man with candy, put in the vehicle and taken away. And then you can see the heavy police presence, several officers there in SWAT gear with helmets. Not exactly sure if they've already raided the address there on Jefferson Avenue, or they're waiting for some sort of indication to go in. But this all started breaking in the last 15 to 20 minutes. And we have talked to Sergeant Williams, Johnny Williams with the Birmingham Police Department, has told us that they do have a tip. They're checking out a tip in the missing person case of Kamille Cupcake Mckinney. And they're not really sure. They haven't told us any more than that, so we don't know how credible this tip is, but it has to be somewhat credible for them to put this many resources into this response.
Right, and we don't know, and of course there are many things coming in on social media and through phone calls. A lot of people are efforting this search, a lot of agencies, including the FBI, the U.S. Marshal Service, Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, Jefferson County Emergency Management Agency, sheriff's offices. A ton of people have been put forth in this effort, and it takes a lot of people to come together to keep this story alive, and that's exactly what's been going on. So, yeah. And they have to follow through on tips that are especially credible.
And I know that the governor yesterday finalized a $5,000 reward. There's also a private reward that was offered for another $1,000. Police Chief Patrick Smith announced that combined $6,000 reward yesterday. The Amber Alert that was issued late Saturday night has now been expanded to other states, so that's how seriously they're taking this case. A lot of people throughout the Birmingham community and beyond are focused their attention on finding this young girl. I mean, there have been volunteer efforts to search the different communities around the Tom Brown housing community yesterday and the day before. And again, you can see a pretty big police presence. They've got us back about 100 yards from this location. It's a very densely populated residential area. We did know that there is an alcohol and drug abuse treatment center across the street from this location. This is in West Birmingham, not too far from downtown. I'd say about a 10 or 15 minute drive from downtown Birmingham, where they're focusing all their attention trying to figure out if this tip will lead to the safe recovery of Kamille Mckinney.
And let's head out to WVTM 13's Mary O'Connell. Mary just got out to the scene not too long ago. Mary, maybe you can set the scene for us and let us know a little bit about what's going on out there.
Hey, Brittany and John. Well, we're as close as we can get right now. You can see there's police tape behind me. There's a heavy police presence, and then there's a sheriff's office helicopter flying overhead. But just beyond this, actually, if we can swing the camera kind of around, you might be able to see there's a lot of people here that are up as far as they can get where we're at here, gathered, trying to figure out what exactly is going on. I got off the phone with Birmingham Police Sergeant Johnny Williams not too long ago, and here's what he told me in regards to what is going on at this scene. He says they're checking out a tip in regards to the Kamille Cupcake Mckinney case. He says, of course, they've gotten several tips, and this is one that they wanted to check out, but he couldn't divulge much about what that tip was. Of course, McKinney's family is on scene here. I asked if they knew much about what was going on here at this scene behind me, but they don't really know either. We're all just kind of waiting and watching. You've seen, if I step out of the way, there was a heavy police presence and what looked like a SWAT team of sorts going into or out in the street here, maybe going into an apartment over here. We're told that somebody was put in the back of a car at one point. Again, we are just, all we know at this point from Birmingham Police is that they are checking out a tip in regards to the Kamille Mckinney case. We are working to gather more information, and of course we will bring that to you as soon as we get it. Back to you.
Mary, thank you so much for setting the scene for us, and hopefully we will be able to get some more information throughout the morning as investigators and police remain on scene. We do know that charges have been filed against 2 persons of interest in this investigation.
Unrelated charges?
Unrelated charges at this time. Patrick Stallworth and Derek Brown. Again, unrelated charges. We don't know if this has anything to do with either of those 2 persons of interest, but we do know that they are looking into people that are maybe linked to this.
Yeah, and you know, we had a lot of information come out on Sunday. Of course, she disappeared Saturday night, and then Sunday afternoon they had been looking for a specific Toyota SUV. They discovered that SUV, or an SUV matching that description, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. They were able to bring that SUV back into the police department's possession. They also arrested or brought in those 2 persons of interest that you just mentioned for questioning, and so they had them in custody for just shy of 2 days, and then they charged them with those unrelated charges late last night. Derek Brown was charged with a bond violation from a separate kidnapping from last year, unrelated to the disappearance with Kamille McKinney, but a separate kidnapping where she allegedly kidnapped some of her own children last year. She still faces those charges, but they charged her with a bond violation yesterday in connection with that case. And then, of course, Patrick Stallworth is facing a number of child pornography charges. According to Patrick Smith, they discovered a number of images on his personal cell phone after he's brought in for questioning. Again, those images and those charges completely unrelated to McKinney's disappearance over the weekend.
There was a vigil that was held for the kidnapping as well, people coming together, and obviously prayers and thoughts for this little girl and her family at this time. Just a lot of the unknown at a birthday party, taken from a birthday party, and I can't even begin to imagine how scary it is for the family, but I'm sure it is good for them to know that so many people are so involved in this investigation, in this search for her. At this time, all eyes are really on this. The whole city of Birmingham is really rallying behind her and her family. The media, police, investigators are all pushing for her safe return.